YouTube, it's time for more update sneak peeks. That's right, today we got some of the more info on skins, everything about Gale and why he is going to be the most toxic brawler, and he's broken, but maybe not strong, and I'll explain what that means. And also, hot zone details and live gameplay. Let's do it! By the way, more sneak peeks coming soon, so if you don't want to miss out, definitely subscribe. If you want the notification, hit the bell. By the way, quickly, here's all the info on the new skins that are coming in May. First of all, the free skin, Barbarian Bull. Alright, this is what he looks like here in Training Cave. No, I mean, not exactly an attack animation. He has like the L. Brown, like angry face sort of thing, and he's got a slightly different charge where he's charging with his sword forward, which is kind of cool. But hey, it's a free skin, let's go. And now, Rogue Mortis. Dude, look at that sweet attack animation, or not attack animation, that sweet, I guess probably it's his winning pose too. That's cool. Now taking it for a spin here, this skin is gonna be 150 gems. So not a cheap one per se, but honestly, this is by far the coolest Mortis skin, like unquestionably. Look at that, man. A Sandstorm, let's go. Now Sprout's new skin, Tropical Sprout, is gonna be 30 gems. Doesn't have any attack animations or anything like that, but looks like Wilson. All right, and then Guard Rico, which also has his own sort of animation. And it looks pretty cool, pointing at them, telling them to shoot. This is also going to be 150 gems. And of course, the animation, as you can see here, I mean, it's not bad. It's not as good, personally, as Rogue Mortis, in my opinion. Let me know, which of these skins is your favorite, besides, obviously, the free one. All right, we're going to break down Gale and actually play some live Hot Zone with him. Before we play Hot Zone, let's talk about how Hot Zone even works. In the first place, now, the difference in this new Hot Zone is both teams can gain points at the same dang time.
At the same time?
That's right. If you're both in the zone, both teams will gain points, and it's like I actually thought it was going to be from Brawl Talk, where now there is a maximum amount of points, and the first team to reach that will win the game. So you just want to try to stay alive in the zone and just push them or get them out of the zone. You don't even have to kill them. As long as they're out of the zone, they won't be gaining points. But there you go. All right, now what you really want, everything about Gale. Let's go. First, you can see the chromatic rarity looks like this sort of icon here. Kind of interesting. And Gale has his own voice lines, which I think are pretty great. Pretty great. Honestly, the old grumpy man shouting at Mr. P. Nice. Now, Gale's pretty much as you knew from Brawl Talk, right? He fires up 5 snowballs, actually buffed his damage a little bit from Brawl Talk. It was 420 per snowball. Now it's 504, and I think this is fair because with his main attack, you will see, I'll take him in Training Cave and show you, it's kind of hard to hit a lot of shots on one person. So per person, he doesn't actually do a ton of damage, and that's partly why I say he's not going to be super strong, but he will be kind of broken, and that is because of this guy right here, Spring Ejector. He drops a jump pad. Oh god, there's so many possibilities with a jump pad. To be honest, he's actually so fun to play with a jump pad. Just the fact that you can drop a jump pad anywhere on the map whenever you need it, either to be super toxic and escape an enemy and taunt them in the face, put it by the jump grab mine and just get a jump and jump backwards every time. There's so many things you can do with this. Jump into the siege, Ike, just jump into the middle of siege, jump into hot zone, jump ahead of someone in Brawl Ball. This new gadget is going to be the most toxic thing in Brawl Stars.
You are toxic. You are toxic.
Especially in competitive play, it's going to be an S-tier gadget, totally needed. It's going to be so important. But with randoms, maybe not quite as much because, you know, what's teamwork to randoms? But it is still going to be strong. His super is also a little toxic if you are a close-range brawler. And it doesn't take too long to charge. Although, admittedly, I'm mostly playing against bots, so that might change a little bit versus real people. But I think the super is also going to be pretty strong. It doesn't take too long to charge. Now, with star powers, they're not that needed. They're okay. They're very okay star powers. The first one stuns enemies if you use your super and you push them into an obstacle. It's a small stun, not super long. Honestly, the pushback itself kind of interrupts them anyways, so this isn't like that key. The second star power, second wind, provides a speed boost to teammates that are caught. Now this one is probably a better star power, and honestly this one was really hard to test because I have bot teammates, right? So, I don't know super well how strong this star power is going to be, just to be honest with you. It might be solid, especially in like Brawl Ball, probably. I mean, it's definitely going to be better than this one, but as usual, the second star power takes longer to release. I'm assuming it's a staggered release of the star powers like usual, so I wouldn't worry about it too much for now. Now, let's take him into training caves. You can see exactly how it works, and also I have something really funny with Gale that I want to show you in training cave. Now, with his attack, you will see it's not always going to be easy to hit 3 shots with his main attack, which is what you want, right? He fires 5. The best thing you will ever get, if you go point blank someone, you will notice that there are at least like 2 snowballs that just go around. So you're really, even though you can technically deal over 2,500 damage if all 5 snowballs hit, really your max damage versus one person is about 1,500. And if you're like auto-aiming from a distance and they're a moving target, you really might be getting 1,000 sometimes and 1,500 sometimes. Because if you are like slightly off center, it might deal 1,000 damage instead of 1,500. Like right there, I wasn't that far off. But you're not always going to get the 1,500. If you're exactly in the center, no problem, 1,500. Of course, I'm facing stationary targets. I just auto-aim. It's no problem whatsoever to really do that. Now, oh, I really got to plug in my iPad. Okay, we're plugged in. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about here was his super, and there's going to be 2 things you notice. One, first of all, typically targets get pushed back to a certain range, and I'm going to try to make that a little bit more clear. So even if, depending on the distance away they are from each other, they're still going to get pushed back sort of to a certain range. So you can see right here, my super extends pretty far, right? So let's see how far it's going to push both of these robots who are at 2 very different distances. You can see one of them sort of caught up to the other one. The other one didn't get pushed nearly as far. Obviously, it's going to work more the better, the closer you are to someone, but also notice it's not going to push them to the exact furthest distance of his super, and that was sort of what I wanted to talk about, because I'm like right here, and you can see my super extends further, but it didn't push either of the robots to the far edge of the super, so it's not really going to push them all the way back. And of course, the closer they are to you, the further it's going to push them back overall in general. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you involved these little robots, but first, I got to set it up, okay? Okay, are you ready for this? Push them all into a corner, and now, super spam! We just continuously hop backwards. I don't know if anyone else got a kick out of that like I did, but when I first did this, I just wasn't expecting the jump back. Oh, that was great. By the way, here is the Merchant Gale skin, which as you can see has his own animations. He's got a snake, he charms it, makes it do a little dance for him, and it does, of course, have its own attack animations. It's actually a little similar to Rogue Mortis, and they're both kind of sand themed, which, you know, just goes with the Torah's Bazaar theme. Oh, whoops, sorry, let me show it like this. It actually looks really cool, fires out sand snakes. And of course, no surprise, right? The Brawl Pass exclusive skin has some really cool effects. All right, now I want to put Gale in a tier for every mode so you can get a better idea of how good I really think or not think Gale is going to be. But I don't want to just talk too much. Let's not make it too boring. Let's do a quick live game of Hot Zone with Gale, best of both worlds, so we can see all the new stuff at once. All right, here we go. Now, with Gale, I will highly recommend probably just dropping a gadget here at the start, and this is why I think it's gonna be so toxic. Look, I spawn, I jump in. Imagine with tanks on your team, like, dude, that's so freaking toxic. And of course, you know, bot teammate. Oh, Frank, I kind of I made him miss his super. That's one thing that's, hey guys, let's split up. It's hot zone, 2 zones. That's one thing with Gale that's gonna be kind of weird, funny, is supering people and making your teammates miss shots. Like, you know that's gonna happen. Someone's gonna super, and then a Gale's gonna go, oh, sorry, I'm gonna, oh, wait, I died. And Gale's gonna go, oh, sorry, not gonna happen today, you're gonna miss. It's gonna be so troll. But just look, I spawn, I jump in. Oh god, imagine this like in Siege, jumping into the enemy Ike turret, or just jumping back in to get more bolts every time you spawn. I mean, it just kind of promotes a suicide tactic really easily. And of course, you know, you can't have 2 jump pads at the same time. Look, I'm just gonna super people out. And you saw that was the stun for a moment there. It's not very long. Oh no. Now, if I had more health, I would consider using my jump pad to escape. Now, whatever direction you're walking is the direction the jump pad will go. I probably should have said that in Training Cave, huh? Wait, go away. Okay, and see, look, now I got some control there. Looks like we maxed out our points in that hot zone. Okay, so now you can only get 50% in each if it's a 2 zone, which is pretty interesting. If it's a 1 zone, of course, 100% in 1. I know, crazy idea, crazy idea. Oh man, I really should try to pay more attention. I'm just kind of jumping up. No, it crashed.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Well, I guess that's it for our game of Hot Zone. I mean, you guys probably got a good idea of how it works, right? Gale's strong, his jump pad's strong. Yeah. By the way, there were some extra balance changes, I guess due to popular request. I'll put those after the Gale tier. Alright, now how strong is Gale? Why is he so toxic? Why is he broken, but not maybe super duper strong, right? Okay, first of all, putting in a tier for every mode. We'll do it pretty quickly here. Starting out with jump grab, and I'm actually going to split it up. I'm going to do tier for competitive play and tier for random play, and the main reason for that is I think competitive players will use the jump pad so much more, and that is a huge part of why Gale is going to be kind of broken, just because the ability to put jump pad anywhere in itself is pretty broken, right? So jump grab, I think it's got to be S tier, because you can jump into the center of the gem mine if you ever need to, or even like if the enemy team has countdown and you go, okay guys, let's jump into their spawn. They really can't stop you if that's what you want to do. Like, you can flank the enemy so easily. So definite S tier and gem grab with competitive play. But randoms, it's going to be A tier. And also his super is good defensively, either for if you're the gem carrier, or if you're keeping them away from your gem carrier, or if you want to stop them from getting gems. There's a lot of use out of that. His damage isn't super high, but he's a good defensive brawler gem grab. And there's a definite need for that when everyone is around one objective. Brawl ball, a little bit not as strong. I think it's going to depend a little bit on how much use you can actually get out of the jump pad in Brawl Ball. His super is great for knocking the ball out of enemy hands or just trying to stop them from getting a goal. But if there is a wall in the way, while you can stun them with his star power, if you push them into a wall, it doesn't actually push them away very far. So while it may temporarily stop them, it might not always solve your problem of stopping them from scoring the goal. I think it's A tier in Brawl Ball competitive play and more of a B tier with randoms. Probably, yeah, it's gonna feel decent, I think, with randoms, but not amazing. Now, in Heist, I think you gotta put him S tier competitive play. Jump pad in Heist, going to the safe is just super toxic. It's gonna be a fast game sort of thing with Gale, and he's gonna be playing defense most of the time, right? He doesn't do much damage, and even attacking the safe, he still doesn't hit all 5 shots. I mean, come on, like, he just doesn't do a ton of damage, really. So he's a defensive brawler, keeping enemies away, but allowing his teammates to jump onto the enemy Ike or safe is going to be really valuable. S tier with competitive play, but random's still A tier, I think, because he just doesn't have enough damage probably to be amazing without the coordination of good teamwork. But in Siege, I think he's S tier with both randoms and competitive play. Just the jump pad is so useful in Siege. Going to collect bolts or going to the enemy Ike. Both of those super valuable, but also his super is good defensively for stopping enemy pushes, pushing away the robot. But not only the robot, it goes through the robot and can push away any enemies behind the robot as well. So that can also be really useful and make that push a lot slower. It is not quite as good defensively as a Gene super for stopping the robot, but it's close. And maybe arguably you could say it's better in that it pushes away enemies as well. But of course, people catch on to that, but still S tier. But Bounty, definitely his worst mode, more of a B tier brawler in competitive play, I think. But randoms, I got him in C tier. Not nearly enough damage, not a super long range. Honestly, it's just not really a mode meant for him, I think. Although the jump pads could definitely be useful for sure if used right, but it's also a risky play. You jump on in, kind of suicidal sometimes, so it might not always work in your favor. But Hot Zone, I mean, you guys saw how useful his jump pads were. I think he's got to be S tier, both randoms and competitive. And it's mostly because of the jump pad, but his super as well is especially used for Hot Zone in denying points or slowing down enemy points. So, I mean, look, I think that was pretty self-explanatory. Those two things combined, really good in Hot Zone, definite S tier. Now, Solo Showdown, you could argue he's S tier because, look, he's going to be really hard to kill. He's got the super, which pushes enemies away, and he's got a jump pad to jump away from any danger if he ever wants to. Although, admittedly, you might jump into something you don't know where you're going. So that is a little risky too. But as long as you just go backwards, wherever you came from, jump away from wherever you came from, you're good. I really think he's a little bit more of an A tier brawler. It's because his damage isn't super high, range isn't crazy, and his health isn't crazy. So brawlers might be able to push him around a little bit. But once he gets a super, totally fine. Like, he's going to be really hard to kill. So he's a definite good brawler in Solo Showdown. Duo Showdown, A tier as well. Kind of similar, really hard to kill, and you can jump pad away with your teammate or not, but solid. So overall, I think in competitive play, Gale is an S tier brawler, but with randoms, I think he's more of an A tier brawler. I mean, look, the jump pad will still be really useful even with randoms sometimes, but not all the time. And I think that's the big difference, is randoms will not always use it well. They won't understand, man. Randoms. So Gale, broken brawler, strong in some regards, but maybe not overpowered, just broken. Yeah. By the way, there's some extra balance changes that are dropping in this update. Ems is getting a nerf, but only to her hype star power. The damage is going, the healing is going from 400 to 320, so minus 80, a 20% nerf to this star power. It was definitely a good star power. I don't think this is going to stop Ems from being good. She's still going to be a really good brawler, but at least there was some nerf. Also, a lot of people were wondering, where was the Nita nerf? And guess what? Nita got a nerf because you guys complained enough. I guess that's why. I don't know, but now Bear Paws, her gadget, which is amazing, can only be used 2 times per match instead of 3. It got the crow treatment, that's right. Honestly, this is a good change, probably. It was, with Hyper Bear, definitely arguably overpowered. It was incredibly strong. I wasn't really complaining because I like Nita. Nita's a fun brawler, but yeah, it's understandable. And the other change is in Siege, where Ike turrets are getting a health buff. 5,000 extra health from 3,000, or sorry, from 30,000 to 35,000. The reason for this is because there was a change in Siege where when you respawn and you have the invincible shield bubble, now the now the robot kind of doesn't always attack you, and now he just attacks the Ike. So because of that, it's a little bit harder to defend. So here's a little extra health for the Ikes to compensate. Remember, we got more sneak peeks coming soon, so definitely subscribe. You don't want to miss out. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I do hope you enjoyed. I hope you guys are excited for the update, and I'll catch you later. Peace.